So I think my biggest struggles are when the kids get frustrated. That tends to trigger my own frustration, and then we kind of end up in this spiral, and how to kind of get everybody back on track and kind of teach them some good tools for how to work with their own frustration and anger. I mean, I see this a lot in my 4-year-old daughter. If she, basic things, she doesn't get her way. She gets really upset, and then as soon as if I try to step in, or we try to have a timeout, or I try to work with her, things, she just escalates really, really fast. And so when she escalates, I start to lose control of myself in that whole process. And so one of the things I've been really looking for is, how can I help her and also help myself just to get through these situations better. I mean, I know this is just a part of life, is that kids get frustrated, and how to learn to manage that. And I feel like I have not successfully learned how to manage my own anger sometimes, and I feel my own self escalating, and I want to be a good example for my kids in terms of how to deal with that, and just how to restore calm and peace to a situation. Yogi breathing I found really helpful, and maybe more so for myself than for my kids. I showed them the bunny breath and the deep breathing, and my 6-year-old grabbed onto it right away and was totally into the bunny breath. My 4-year-old, not so sure, but it really helped me. Specifically, there was an instance where she was throwing a fit in the morning. We're trying to get out the door on time, and she can't find the shoes that she wants to wear, and so she's flipping out, and I'm trying not to lose it. I'm trying to be patient, knowing that we're going to be late, and trying to keep her from escalating even farther and failing miserably. And so I gave myself a timeout. I went upstairs and I sat on the floor on the other side of my bed, facing the window, and I just sat there, and I just closed my eyes, and I went and just started breathing deep. And eventually I hear her pitter-patter up the steps, and she comes, and she's standing there, looking at my profile, and I still have my eyes closed, and I'm just breathing deep. And finally I look at her, and she gets this smile on her face. She's just like, kind of like, I know we messed up, and I know I got in trouble, and wow, look, here we are, and isn't this fun? And it was good for me, because I don't know how it all happened, but we got it back together. We were able to talk about it, and for me it's really about dealing with that escalation, all that anxiety, and once you lose control and it's all just happening up here. That was good for me, and I think it was good for her. I mean, I felt proud that I was able to model that behavior as opposed to my normal throwing, slamming doors, and yelling. It was totally another route that I had, another way to go, and I was proud of that moment. I automatically respond in the way that my parents responded to me. And unless I learn something new and intentionally try to practice it, I'm just kind of operating out of my default mode, which in many cases is great, and my parents did a wonderful job. But I also see other places where I look back and I'm like, that's not how I wanted to react, that's not how I would respond. And so I really appreciate being able to have this information and to practice things and see what works in my own family, so that I can be a little bit more intentional about it and feel like I'm really putting my best foot forward in these difficult situations. One of the things I really enjoyed about the course was the opportunity to journal and really reflect on these things, because these are normally things that just pop up in your everyday life, or my everyday life, when I'm least expecting it, and boom, I find myself in the middle of the situation and needing to respond right then and there. And I always think, gosh, I really wish I was more prepared for this. And so I really appreciated the opportunity to think about these things and the questions that Michaela poses ahead of time. And one of the other things I really liked about the way that she started off each lesson was just kind of this centering exercise, and also just forgiving myself, because that was really powerful, because I think as a parent there is a lot of pressure on us to do the right thing, and the idea that we are forming the next generation and all this responsibility on our shoulders. And so I just love the way that the light that Michaela puts it in. It just made it very accessible to me, and I just really felt like this was an opportunity to grow in my parenting, and I'm grateful for it.